Sing that shit.
Yo guys, what's going on? ModernHoops here, and I am back with another video. So over these past couple of years, Khris Middleton has become a fan favorite and a vital part of the Milwaukee Bucks on both the offensive and defensive end of the floor, being an 18 to 20 point game scorer for them, while also being the perfect second option behind Giannis Antetokounmpo. And so far this season, he's been putting up averages of 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists per game on some great shooting splits, shooting 44% from the field and 38% from the three. And because of his great play this season, Khris Middleton was able to make his first All-Star appearance this season. Now, it's obviously a significant accomplishment anytime a player is named an All-Star for the first time, but this All-Star appearance was especially special for Khris Middleton because, well, things weren't always as easygoing as it is now for him. He actually had to work his way up from the G League, and it's not a common sight to see NBA players who's come up from the G League to have the level of success Khris Middleton has seen throughout the years. It takes a lot of hard work, and fun fact, Khris Middleton became the first player this season to make an All-Star team who also played in the NBA G League developmental season. But from being a low second round pick and also having to come up from the G League to becoming a pivotal part of the Bucks and making his first All-Star appearance this season, today I'm gonna be talking about the rise of Khris Middleton. But before I go any further, I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, Jerome Young. Now, if you guys want a new job and a higher salary, check out his free webinar, Simple Steps to Get a High Paying Job Fast, at www.mh.attractjobsnow.com. And I really think this could help a lot of you guys out. The webinar is taught by job search expert Jerome Young. He's been featured on Forbes.com, MSNBC.com, Fox News, Good Day, and other media outlets. He specializes in helping people get job interviews and job offers fast without applying to jobs online, and people who have worked with Jerome get an average salary increase of 30%. And this week he's offering his valuable webinar free, so I'd highly recommend that you guys go check it out. All links to register will be in the description box below, so once again, go check it out. And with all that out of the way, let's hop right into it. Now, we're going to start this video off by heading all the way back to Middleton's high school days, where he attended Porter Gaud High School, an independent co-educational college preparatory school in Charleston, South Carolina. Now, halfway through his high school years, Middleton wasn't getting any interest from any major colleges nearby. Dave Odom, who was actually the head coach of the University of South Carolina at the time, had some interest in Middleton during his sophomore year, but was deterred because of the fact that Khris Middleton couldn't dunk just yet. Pearson, who was Middleton's high school coach at the time, said this: his IQ was beyond his years, but he did not have the physical makeup to execute his ideas. But luckily for Khris Middleton, he would end up hitting a huge growth spurt that summer and quickly found his game. But sadly, a lot of the big college programs which he wanted to go to, like Clemson, which was actually his dream school, passed on him already. And see, the thing was, Middleton's game wasn't really that eye-popping or flashy. He had an old school style to his game, but a couple of Texas A&M assistants who had never heard of Middleton before noticed him during the AAU tournament, and in the spring of his junior year, Mark Turgeon, who was the head coach of Texas A&M men's college basketball, saw some highlights of Khris Middleton, and he wasn't all that impressed, but he did like Middleton enough to offer him a scholarship despite having never seen him play in person, and Middleton would soon commit. Now, after 2 years playing at Texas A&M, Khris Middleton became a solid first-round NBA prospect, but his head coach, Mark Turgeon, convinced him to stay another year, which in hindsight was a bad move, and he would end up regretting it, because in the middle of his junior year, that May, Turgeon decided to leave and took another job at the University of Maryland, and Kennedy, who was Turgeon's replacement, both him and Middleton never clicked that season. But sadly, things only got worse for Khris Middleton, as he would end up suffering a torn meniscus in his right knee early in November that season. He would end up returning a month later, but wasn't the same, which caused his draft stock to just plummet. Even so, Middleton declared for the NBA draft, and after falling out of the first round in the 2012 NBA draft, both Middleton and his father were devastated and stopped watching. And one of the reasons why teams were passing up on Middleton is because they thought he was too soft. But later in the draft, the Pistons would end up picking him up in the second round with the 39th pick. Now, the rumors of him being somewhat soft did hold some truth to it, as during the summer league that year, Coaches and scouts and observers described his game as having a low motor on the court. He wasn't aggressive and that he played with a lot of uncertainty. And Steve, who was the Pistons assistant at the time, said this to Khris Middleton: "This isn't college, turn it up." Now, of course, being a second round pick, Khris Middleton was going to be a work in progress. Now, during his rookie season, Khris Middleton would end up missing 35 consecutive games, so the Pistons would finally send him down to the G League. Now, of course, Khris Middleton wasn't too happy about this whatsoever, but he never gave up and he started to work even harder than before. Now, during his rookie season, Khris Middleton did show flashes of being that player that we all know today, but it was clear that the Pistons were not going to wait and see what he becomes. So in 2013, the Pistons, not knowing, would end up trading a future all-star in Middleton for salary matching purposes in a deal revolving a Brandon Jennings and Brandon Knight swap with the Milwaukee Bucks. In his first year with the Bucks, they finished with the league worst, going 15-67, but he was able to establish himself as a solid starter. Now, during that offseason, the Bucks would end up firing Larry Drews as head coach and replaced him with Jason Kidd. And Jason Kidd would end up being the next major step in Khris Middleton's development, because Jason Kidd, realizing the potential Middleton had, would push him each and every single day in practice and play through him more and more during the season. Kidd pushed Middleton each and every single day to get better at everything, be a better defender, hone his passing skills, and shoot more threes, and just be a more versatile player. And Khris Middleton started to blossom into the player that we all know today, because during the 2015-2016 NBA season, his fourth season in the league, Khris Middleton was putting up averages of 18 points, was shooting 44% from the field and 40% from the three. He even received some all-star considerations that season. He was supposed to make another big leap next season, but sadly, I guess the basketball gods didn't want it to be this season, because at the end of a September practice, Middleton slipped on a wet spot and tore his left hamstring muscle completely off the bone. He only played 29 games during the 2016-2017 NBA season, and his scoring average dropped from 18 to 15 points a game that season. But during the offseason that year, Khris Middleton worked hard and tried to see if he could find ways to help the team out without only having to score. He studied film, talked with coaches, improved his ball handling skills, and he was just determined to become a better player than before. And during the 2017-2018 NBA season, he would end up averaging a career-high 20 points per game, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds, while also shooting 47% from the field and 36% from 3. Although they did lose to the Celtics in the first round in 7 games that year, but Middleton did perform well in that series, averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He even hit the game-winning shot in the first game of the series.
Here's Antetokounmpo, looking, Middleton! Oh! Yo!
Oh! Khris Middleton! I mean, this is from the scorer's table.
Yeah, it's gone from his hand before the light comes on.
But fast forward back to today, him alongside with Giannis are leading the Bucks to the best record in the league. They're number 1 in the East and are candidates of making the NBA Finals this year. It's crazy to see how far he's gotten. But with that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, subscribe for more NBA content, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And while you're at it, go follow me on all my social medias. Links to my Twitter and Instagram will be in the comment section below and in the description box below. But with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.